Hello, Daily Ukuleles. This is John from John's Ukulele Cafe, and today's song is Ac-Cent-Tchu-Ate the Positive. And this is the second song out of the Daily Ukulele Blue or Leap Year Songbook. This one's really fun. It is a very old-timey tune from 1944. Harold Arlen and Johnny Mercer wrote this song. And I want to go over to some cool things that might help you with your memory. We're going to talk about how to memorize chord sequences. And it might be a new thing for you, or it might be something that you've seen a lot. But I hope you enjoy these videos. Hit like and subscribe to my channel down below, where you can catch many more daily ukulele videos. You can also catch the tab for this on my Patreon, and it's just $3 a month to receive these email tabs. And I've got about 20 to 30 tabs done so far. And yeah, hope you have fun with this one. Let's go ahead and jump into the lesson. All right, so we are in Ac-Cent-Tchu-Ate the Positive, and this is an old classic crooner song. There are lots of crooner tunes in the Daily Ukulele Blue Songbook, and this is definitely one of those. So let's go ahead and just take a look at the chords first. We are in the key of C major, and I'm here on my C chord. I also have a low G ukulele because when I play through the song with the tab, we're going to need to get down to the low G string to sometimes hit the G or the A. And yeah. So let's go ahead and look at the first chord. The first chord again is C, and we're going to call that home base, okay? A lot of people will call that the one chord. So we'll usually start a song on the one chord a lot of the time, and we'll usually end on the one chord a lot of the time. And then from there, we get a C plus. Oh, nobody likes a C plus. No, it's a C augmented chord, which means that like you take a C chord, and there are basically three notes in a C chord. There's a C, there's an E, and a G. And the C is the root, the E is the third, and the G is the fifth. C, D, E, F, G. All right. And when you raise the fifth, it sounds like that. And that's what we're doing for this chord. We're making the G a G sharp. What it does, it really smooths the chords out between because we're going from C to A minor, but it's like a little bridge. C, C plus, or C aug. And then our next note we're going to have is going to the A. So it's like O, 1, 2, right? Smooths the chords out just a little bit. Also, something very cool is that in the words, it's also happening as well. You've got to accentuate the positive, right? Did you hear it? We'll do it one more time. You've got to accentuate the positive. So it's kind of accentuating, or, it's moving up as we go, right? All right. Beatles did that a lot too. They would play things in their songs, the chords that they used to, make an emotional attachment to some of the words that you heard in their songs. So, all right, well, the next chord we said in the second measure is an A minor, and then we go to C7, and then we have an F chord. Okay, normal F chord, 2, 0, 1, 0, and we take that to a F minor chord, and that's 1, 0, 1, 3 from the ceiling to the floor. Leave that pinky down, and we're on a D minor 7. That's our D minor 7 to G7. Okay, and let's go ahead and stop. We're going to end on a C chord, and that's kind of where we started in the song. Okay, so C was C major, or the 1 chord. Let's call this 1 plus, right, or 1 aug, and that's going to take us to A minor. Now, if we count C to A, C, D, E, F, G. We start over again after the G. We're on a 6 chord, C, D, E, F, G, A. So that 1 plus is going to the 6 chord, minor 6, and then we're going to go back to the 1, but it's a dominant C, or a C7. Now, we often call this a 5 of something chord. When you see sevenths, it's like dominant of the next chord. So 5 of the 4 chord, the 4 chord being F, C, D, E, F. So we'll call it 5 of 4. And then that 4 was major, but then it goes minor. So we're going to call it minor 4. And then we're going to go to D minor, which is like a 2 chord, C, D. And then that's going to go to the 5. So we're actually going to call the D minor, a minor 5 of 5 chord, the actual 5 chord, back to 1. Okay, now if this is all new to you, kind of just like let it go over you for a second, and then it's gonna make sense the more and more you hear this. But it's really gonna speed up your memory of learning songs because you're gonna understand how these chords function and why they're there. Okay, so let's review. We've got a 1 plus 2 minor 6 and 5 of 4, 4 minor 4 of minor 5 to 5, back to 1 plus minor 6 to 1 7, and then this is a minor 5 of 5, back to 1. Right, it's kind of fun. I remember seeing a Christmas song not too long ago. I think it was Chestnuts. They replaced all of the words with what's going on in the song, like where the melody is going or the chords that they were using. Really cool. I may have even covered it on my channel before, but definitely worth a listen. A lot of people seem allergic to music theory. I think as long as you have an attitude of this is a theory of how music works and not the way music works, and you're willing to be open and use it as a learning tool, it can really, really help you just understand how a lot of these, especially old-timey tunes, work. I would say about 90 to 95% of the songs in the Daily Ukulele books operate on what we call these like 5 of 5 chords. They have a jazzy kind of quality to them, and that's honestly how a lot of them work. So I'll give you a for instance, like if we were on an A chord and we're just on an endless stream of like 5 of 5 chords, right? So the A is a 5 of D, A, B, C, D, and they're basically all 4 notes away. If we were on a D chord, D, E, F, G, our next chord would be a G. If we were on a G chord, our next chord would be a C, and our next chord would be an F, and our next chord would be a B flat, etc., etc. That's how 5 of 5 chords work. And that's most of what you're going to see in the Daily Ukulele books. Boom, I just dropped that on you. If you've never heard that before, go ahead and look in the book and you're going to notice that's a huge, huge pattern you're going to see as you go through. Okay, so if we repeated this song, we would do the second verse. It's exactly the same as the first, and then we're going to go on to the next section. And on my tab, I labeled this as B section. So to illustrate, and then we're going to go to a C7. My last remark, Jonah and the whale. This is an F7 that actually does not go to B flat. So Jonah and the whale, see Noah and the ark. What did they do just when everything got so dark? Let's pause for a second. Let's take a look at this A7 sharp 5. Okay, it is another raised 5th chord or og chord. Here's A7, O1, O0. And if we raise the 5th in this case is on the E string. So it's there. And then we also have to sing this note. We have to sing this note as we do it, even though the A is there, but we're gonna sing this note. It's a little bit of dissonance. Everything got so dark. G7. Man, they said we better Ac-Cent-Tchu-Ate. And that's just going to take us back to the beginning from there. Okay? So if we did it with some theory in the B section, we've got a 1 chord, 1 dominant of F, and that C is a 5 of F. All right? So we have a 5-7 of a 4 chord. But the 4 chord doesn't really go to B flat, it just goes back to 1. Next, what did they do? And this kind of jumps out of nowhere, seemingly, A7, Og 5, but it's really a 5 of D. Just when everything got so, D7's a 5 of 5. Man, they said we better, back to 1. Accentuate the positive. And then the only thing we haven't gone to yet is the coda. It's like you're going to do the first verse and then you're going to end on don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between. And that's how we're going to end the song. Now, let me give you some tips on the tab. So when we begin the song, this is a great way also to double check your pitches when you're singing. And I don't always do everything that's in the Daily Ukulele book melody-wise, but close, 80 to 90%. I try to hit what's there. So we've got on the low string, O, 2, O, O, 2, O. And sometimes I'm gonna hammer on a note. See, I didn't use my right hand, I just O, use my finger to hit the note, the A, O, 2, O. And it's gonna free up my right hand to play those notes. O, 2, O, O. And then we have O on the E. And then we have E, E, C, E, D, C. And there I could also do something called a pull off. You're just like hitting, as you fret the note, you just let go of it, and that's gonna create your last C. 2, 2, O, and they have a E flat here. E flat, pull it off, O, 2, pull it off, O. All right, so I'll do all the first phrase. I'll go slow. 2, 3. You got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. And we do it again. You got to spread joy up to the maximum. Get the idea, right? All right, let's go to the B section for the tab. And here's B. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah and the whale, Noah and the ark. What did they do just when everything got so dark? Then they said we better accentuate the positive. I think you get the idea now. That's basically how it works. I'm going to now do a run through of this song. I'm going to sing it and play it. And then in the middle, after I get all the way through the song, I'm going to go through one more time and then do it with tab. And then I'm going to finish with one more run all the way through. That's kind of how I like to do songs. I like to sing it, do the tab or solo, and then on the very last time, just sing and play it again. So I hope you liked this video, and here's going to be the run through. 1, 2. You gotta accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. You gotta spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to a minimum. Pandemonium, liable to walk up on the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah and the whale, Noah and the ark. What did they do just when everything got so dark? Man, they said we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between. positive. Eliminate the negative. Latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between. All right, well, thank you for tuning in today and learning Accentuate the Positive. Hope you enjoyed this. Got to learn a little bit of theory, also ways to memorize your chord sequences, and learn a little bit of tab as we were at it. So I've been John with John's Ukulele Cafe, and until next time, happy strumming and playing your ukulele. Bye-bye.